Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle Chemystery from CZT MaryAnn Scheblein-Dawson. I hope I got that close. All right. So this is a neat tangle. I have seen this one for some time. I didn't peek at the date when this, 2010 on Tangle Patterns. So I've seen it and I've honestly not played with it. And I was just nosing around and I'm like, oh, let's do that. It's neat. Okay. I'm going to do my 4 corner dots and a borderline. You know, sometimes I get in the mood to do it this way versus going all the way out to the sides. Okay. So this starts off with a double grid. You know what I think I'm going to do? Let's see. If I do start one, let's just start one in the middle and see where we go. Oh, but I do want to make it thicker. Okay, no. I'll start up here. I want to make it thicker than I did in my version of the step out. Okay, that's not much thicker, but it'll work. So whatever size grid you want, but just do 2 lines at a time. And then this is like Ghostbusters. We are going to cross the streams. We're going to cross the lines. Yes, we are. It doesn't happen very often, but we are. All right. So, yeah, I should say, are you sitting down? All right, it's okay. It's all right. And when I look at it, I'm like, oh, okay. And you'll see why it's okay. Well, if you've seen the picture, you already know why. All right, so crossing the lines. And, I'm doing this relatively straight. I think it could work really nicely on a wonky grid. It's not going to matter. Okay? So now, on the intersections. And I did change up my version of the step outs. And there is a story because so this was in you can read the story for yourself. It was in the book Totally Tangled by Sandy Steen Bartholomew, but it was just created by MaryAnn, and then somebody else did the illustration of the step out that's in the book because it's just funny. So I'm doing my own version, and I switched up the steps, and here's why. So I'll explain it my way, and then you can always go look as I throw my pen across the room. All right. So we're gonna do orbs, but we're going to hollow bow 2 sections. So the first step is just, so we'll hollow bow this in 2 steps. So first is just to make the outside of your orb. And so looking at it this way, we're starting here, as you see on the top line. So, how do I want to say this? I didn't think about how do I want to say this. Sometimes that's part of the problem is how I say it or don't say it. So as you're looking, okay, the horizontal line, we're going to start on the top of it. We're crossing over the vertical line, over the other side from the intersection on the vertical line, and then landing, or we'll essentially be hollow bowing underneath the vertical line, or maybe better stated, in the box that's to the lower left is where let's see, never mind. Just watch. Okay, so we've gone around. We're going to just do this C shape. I swear, that is half the challenge of Zentangle is like, wait, I have words. I need to say them so they make sense, because you can see it, right? So we're starting here. We're coming up, around, over all of those lines and ending here. There we go. That's what it is. Oh my goodness. All right. But now you could do this in one step. if you want to. So we've come all the way around, or you can just kind of air, we're air drawing. Okay, here's where that curve would be. In this, if we were looking at this as a 4 square, the lower left, that's open. We're just going to put this little portion right there, like that. Let me move this up. You stay there. You're supposed to guide me. All right. So I don't keep moving it away. All right. So let's do this one again. And like I said, a lot of times it works better. Apologize for my lack of words, or too many of nonsense words. That's probably better stated. And for the 3 people that every once in a while put a comment that I usually delete because it hurts my feelings about my talking too much. Apologize. Don't put it in the comments. Just laugh along with me. All right. So again, we're going to hollow out under this. And as I was just watching one of Rick and Maria's videos, the founders of Zentangle, if you did not know, it's so funny because I watch them and I'm like, well, yep, it's like measure twice, cut once. This is, air draw it twice and draw it once. So that way, okay, let's see how we're going here. And like that. Okay. So that's how you want to have it end up. Then, on these sections that we hollowed under, we're going to put some little C-shaped curve lines like this. So it would be going in towards the intersection. So curving up towards the intersection on both of those. Now, in the original step out, you will see that they had this step first. And as I was doing it, I'm like, that's uncomfortable because I want to make sure that this is in line as much as possible. I mean, and hollowing is not perfect, but putting that in before you put these C shapes in, then these little C shapes, you can line those up and have everything match up. Okay. I hope that all made sense. All right, now next, in the step out, they put a little box. You can do whatever you want. You don't have to even put a little shine in here. What they did was left a little a box, but it's hard to fit a box in there. So I just put a big orb, kind of touching all of the spaces, because we can adjust the size of this afterwards, but this reserves the area for the lost my cap as I was throwing my pens around. This reserves the space for the shine. You can always come back with a white gel pen afterwards if you wish. The other thing is, if you could put, you could put a box in there if you want. If you could put a little crescent in there if you want. Up to you. I like doing it this way, so that's how I'm doing it. Now, I'm filling in. I switched to the graphic one here so we can fill in. And this is why we can cross the lines, because we're filling all of that in. And then 2, I'm being careful. I'll, can touch up stuff around edges and in corners afterwards. But this is so magical. It's like, it's the next best magical thing to shading. All right, let me just touch up this little bit. And granted, sometimes I know I need to not look at it for a minute and then come back and go, oh my gosh, look at that. It looks like I did that. It looks like it's a shiny orb there. And we're going to do that for all of them. Now, you could too leave that little bit of shine or whatever, and then also put the white, a white gel pen over top of it. It's nice because to leave the space so that way it's not competing with the black ink. It works though, because we do it all the time. Putting a white gel pen over black ink, it works. See, and then here, if I want to, this is why I like leaving them bigger. It's like, well, I do like to have a little bit more space here. So I went back to my 01, and let's just make sure that it stays round. but you can kind of, with the pen, shave off, little sections of it so that way you can make sure it's round. The only thing is you can't go bigger. So that's why I make it as big as possible. Fill in these little gaps here. So that way we can do that. And what a neat idea with these little C shapes here. So it really makes it look 3D. It really, really does. What a cool concept. I just needed to switch up the order of things so that way it looks more okay, let's just say, I'll just come out and say it. For me, because I can't draw. I can only do Zentangle. It was just way easier to do that, because I would much rather have this make sure it looks like it's part of the rest. But then at the same time, you can course correct as you're filling in. Again, as long as you can make it bigger. So if you need to adjust any of the outside, you can. The only challenge would be, because we already have these C shapes, although, as long as you're making it bigger, you could redefine those C shapes if you need to. It all works. There we go. Like I said, I come back with the 01, and that way I can touch up little teeny spots. Make those rounder. Neat. And seriously, if you're not seeing it, like, shut your eyes for a minute. I'm doing that right now. And then look at it, and it's like, oh! Because sometimes we get so micro-focused on what we're doing. It's like the saying, you can't see not seeing the forest through the trees. And, all right, let's do some shading. This is why I left these bigger, because, and I'm doing this in Zentangle, we don't necessarily worry about the light source and all that when we do shading and things. And I did, that was my soapbox on yesterday's video. So you can go and listen to that if you want to hear the soapbox moment. If you understand that, great. If not, then you don't have to worry about it. So what I do is I just try to make them consistent. It's like, pick a side, stay there, it's all good. Now I put these all on the right side, and then I'm doing the scooch, the scooch motion with the Tortillion. So just an up and down movement to keep it, because they're still small, and I want to look at how that's rounded it. I want it to create gradient, but I don't want it to come all the way over to the side, because then you lose that. Okay. And I'll have to do it again sometime when I have enough. Well, maybe I can even do it on the back of this. I'll find another time to do it, because I want to play with the idea. I had tested doing this motion versus side to side motion, and the up and down seemed to be a smaller area. It spread it, smaller than if I went like side to side. It was just, I don't know. It was weird, but I'm gonna test it again, and maybe I'll share that on something. But look at that. And then you could, if you wanted to go extra daring with what's left on the Tortillion, just, because it's good to wipe it off. And just a little drop shot. So you're auraing with your Tortillion, with what's left. And we're just auraing just that little bit, so that you have a little space, and that's what we would call a drop shadow. And I like so sometimes I like the curvy border, because it's like somebody peeled off wallpaper, and there's this bit underneath, and that's what you're seeing. I just think that's fun. And I think what I'm going to do, more than think, I'm tracing over it, going darker, and I'm going to smudge it to the outside. I was thinking it looks kind of neat just the way it is, but then I changed my mind. Thought, well, it might look even neater this way. So then it looks like it's peering into another dimension of something. I have Star Trek now running through my head. It's been a while since I watched that. I should probably make a binge of watching that. All right. Yes, neat. Neat. And what? It's really not that hard. It was harder to explain than it was to do. And but I hope you understood it, and I hope you were laughing with me and not at me. But it's okay. I won't know. So cool. All right. So I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, please click the like button. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the channel. If you enjoy my goofy style, because I know nothing else but to be real, I'm a what you see is what you get kind of person. And if you enjoy that, would love to have you join us for some classes online. We have a ton of fun. I do them twice weekly, Tuesdays and Thursdays, my time here in Michigan. And we have people from all around the globe, and it's so cool. And that's why I tell you, my time in Michigan, because we do have some that when they come, it's tomorrow. It's the next day already. So, and I always do them then, unless there's something weird, and I always, try my best to reschedule. And, but it's very, infrequent that I have to do that. So Tuesdays and Thursdays, 11 a.m. and 7 p.m. are the start times. Thursdays are always free. It's called Tangle Time. You can find that on my website. In the description section under the step out links, you'll find my Linktree link, and there you can see I have a couple places where I post classes that are listed there. Facebook is also one of them, so you can follow me on my page. That one, if you click on the icon, the Facebook icon right under my name, that will take you to the page, so you can follow me there for classes. Or if you'd like to be more active with some other Tangle addicts, we'd love to have you be part of our Tangle Addicts community. That link is on there as well. That's a Facebook group. It's a private group. There are 4 questions to answer to gain entry, just so you know. Let's see, and the nice thing about following me in one of the, in any of those platforms for classes is that way it shows up in your time zone, and you don't have to worry about calculating anything when you show up to, or when you sign up to follow and stuff like that. So that just makes it easier. And there's, I'm sure there is a lot more, but I've used up all of my words in trying to explain it. So, so I will just leave you with my normal wish and thank you for watching, and wish you happy tangling.